framework. So we call it UGCF, and the undergraduate courses have been restructured, wherein there are various multiple entry and the exit options are available. If the student, for example, if the student is exiting after 1 year, he will be given a certificate, after 2 years diploma, and so on. So if the student is continuing for 4 years, he or she will be a BSc honors with research degree. So that is why we thought that we should collaborate and we should have this lecture, because now we are at the undergraduate level, we are trying to motivate students for the research. Now this fourth year is focused primarily on specialization in one of the 5 disciplines. I am talking about electronics, along with a major project dissertation. So these 5 areas are signal processing and machine learning, RF and communication systems, circuit and VLSI, controls and embedded system, and the last is nanotechnology. So I just want to recall that we had already run add-on course in nanotechnology many years back. Now with more focus on skill and ability enhancement courses, we are calling them as SCC, AEC. The student will have expanded high quality opportunities for employment, and it will also cater to the ever increasing industry requirements. So as we have 3 eminent speakers who are also well-known women in engineering torch bearers with us, it is noteworthy to mention that we at our department have this practice of making a woman coordinator who acts as an interface between the students and faculty members to raise, report any issue that is concerned or related to female students. Thank you. Raki, you can continue.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I again apologize for the delay that we had due to the technical hiccups. Now I'll just briefly explain about IEEE, why we are conducting this program. So IEEE, with its corporate headquarters in New York, USA, is the world's largest technical professional organization with over 409,000 members in more than 160 countries, dedicated to advancing technology for the benefit of humanity. And IEEE and its members inspire a global community through its highly cited publications, conferences, technology standards, and professional and educational activities. I joined IEEE and Electron Devices Society as a student member some 12 years back. And since then, I've been involved in organizing technical humanitarian activities as volunteers initially, after that as an EXICOM member, and subsequently as an office bearer. I also attended a lot of IEEE sponsored activities, conferences at national and international levels. And I students that I've been immensely in terms of colleagues who share the same expertise and interest, professional advancement, and through regular technical access to the technical literature and resources to stay updated. So today's program is organized with an intent to spread awareness among non-IEEE student and professional members about IEEE, Electron Devices Society, and its activities and various benefits. So with this, now I would like to introduce our first speaker, Professor Mridula Gupta ma'am. Ma'am is currently senior professor at Department of Electronic Science, University of Delhi. She has published over 220 papers in various international journals, more than 320 papers in international and national conference proceedings, has delivered more than 25 invited lecture, keynote talks within India as well as abroad, and also supervised 28 PhD students till date. Her name was also listed in top 50 research guides across India in 2019. She is a senior IEEE member, fellow of IETE, life member of Semiconductor Society of India, and life member and secretary of Society for Microelectronics and VLSI in India. Currently, ma'am is serving as SRC Vice Chair for the IEEE EDS Region 10, which is the Asia Pacific region. She has organized more than 20 international and national conferences, workshops, seminars, etc. as a chairperson and secretary of EDS Delhi chapter, and also as past president of Women in Engineering, IEEE Delhi Section Affinity Group. Under her leadership as Delhi chapter chair during 2011 to 16, the chapter got Best Chapter Award twice. She is also a co-PI of the Samarth project, which is for Smarter Automation Engine for Universities initiative under National Mission in Education through ICT. She is also involved in restructuring of courses and syllabus under the National Education Policy 2020. With these words, I would now request Vidula Madam to kindly share her screen and share her views. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. Okay.
I'll just
So,
stop sharing and you can share your
okay.
screen.
I'll share the screen a little later. So,
Yes,
first of all, I would like to thank Sri Venkateshwara College administration, Dr. Rakhi Narang, Dr. Nutan Kala, and the principal for inviting me for this panel discussion on how to have a membership drive for IEEE EDS. I would like to extend my greetings to my fellow colleagues, Professor Sushita and Professor Merlin, for joining this. And on behalf of IEEE, being one of the members from IEEE Delhi chapter, I would like to thank them for joining this session. So I am right now I'm serving as head Department of Electronic Science. I'm associated with IEEE EDS for many years. So let me start with the department what is this department is all about. So we are at Delhi University, one of the premium institutions of our country. And in this university, we run many programs, postgraduate programs as well as undergraduate programs. Undergraduate programs are run by the various colleges, and Shri Venkateshwara College is one of the constituent colleges of Delhi University. Likewise, we have about 70 odd colleges which are associated with Delhi University who run the undergraduate program and the postgraduate program also. Then on the top of it, we have the departments, various faculties and the departments. So under this, there's a faculty called as Faculty of Interdisciplinary Applied Sciences, which was established about 30 years back. And our department, Department of Electronic Science, comes under this faculty. This faculty is hosted at South Campus. And in this Department of Electronic Science, we run uh, two postgraduate programs, MSc Electronics and MTech Microwave Electronics. And we also run our PhD program in various disciplines. Besides that, we also enter the undergraduate program of Delhi University, that is BSc Honors Electronics, which is run in 13 colleges, and Sri Venkateshwara College is one of them. So for as far as our undergraduate program is concerned, we are concerned with the making in syllabus, appointing of examiners, and everything related to this work that we are. This Department of Electronic Science was established in 1983 when country just moved towards the electronics era, and it was the vision of then the Prime Minister to open up the electronic stream in various universities. Before that, it was used to be only electrical and electronics and instrumentation, electronics communication streams were introduced in various IITs and NITs. And the university was a pioneer institution in starting MSc Electronics way back in 1984. I myself was the first batch student from this MSc Electronics, which was started in 1984, and I graduated in 86. So the vision at that time was to impart the electronics education and to various youngsters, and to make this electronics feel at home kind of things. So this MSc program was run by 2-3 universities at that time. From that, then we started our undergraduate program because we wanted to educate the students at undergraduate level also. And then we also started our PhD program. Most of our alumni we have a large database of alumni, and most of our alumni are in teaching. Most of them are in teaching in various undergraduate colleges that are MSc students, that are basically our MSc alumni. Our MTech program, Microwave Electronics program, is one of the niche program of the country, which we started this program in 1983 when we were just moved from RF to microwave region, and microwave communication started. And I'm very glad to share that most of our alumni are in Indian Space Organization, Defense Research and Development Organization, and they're serving at a very at almost at the level of scientist G or at the administrative positions. So this is all about the department. Now, just as Dr. Nutan Kala has just mentioned that we have just revised our undergraduate curriculum based upon the National Education Policy 2020, which was launched just 2 years back by our Honorable Prime Minister. And there's a vision. What is the vision of this? What was the vision of this national education policy is to make the higher education accessible for everyone. See, earlier what is happening is that if you're taking an after passing out your by school education, if you go to college education, or that we call as undergraduate education, then there are no entry or exit points, like multiple entry exit points. If you have taken admission, say in an undergraduate program, and unless and until you clear the exam, you will not get a degree. And as looking at the socio-economic background of our country, some of the students, they are compelled to leave their undergraduate courses in between because of many reasons, and they could not complete. So what is happening, if suppose somebody has completed 1 year or 2 year, there is nothing, they won't get any credit for that. But now under this national education policy, the main backbone or the main strength of this national education policy 2020 is that you can that there's a multiple entry and exit program. And also you have a provision of carrying over your credits. Like if you have earned your credits and you move from one state to the other state, or say from one country to the other country, then we also have created ABC, that is the Academic Bank of Credits. You can carry this Academic Bank of Credits with you, and based upon that credits, you can take admission anywhere. So under this national education policy, this undergraduate program have been revamped for 4 year, up to 4 year for electronics, not only in electronics but in all stream. So if you exit after first year, then you will get a certificate degree, and if you exit after 2 years, then you will get a diploma degree. If you exit after 3 years, then you will get a graduate degree. But there's an option that if you want to continue further and you want to go for research, then you can start your research, as Dr. Nutan Kala Nutan has told you, that you can start it right from the college days itself. So from the college also, you can start taking up the projects, and you can be involved in the research. And if you pass out after 4 years, then it will be called as your that you have graduated with research. And what is the advantage of this fourth year? So advantage of this fourth year, which you may not see right now, but it will come at a later stage, because the government is planning that if you have done 4 years, you have done the graduation with research, then you can take directly entry into a PhD program. You don't have post graduation. But you have to do certain credits. You have to take some coursework. So those guidelines will come later on. But this is the advantage that you will get for 4 year. Now, to make the electronics attractable for the youngsters, and that just last year only our honorable prime minister has launched that we are going to have manufacturing units, and a lot of work is going on into this with the help of MATI and all those things. So what we are planning, that we should have the skill development courses. Our focus in the undergraduate program is not only the teaching, that classroom teaching, but we want the students to do the skills, because a lot of manpower would be required, not the research level but at the skill level also, like PC designing could be there, PCB board making could be there, testing could be there. A lot of things are going to come once the manufacturing units come to India, and a lot of this kind of the skill would be needed, and like a lot of programming would be needed. And based upon that, we have revamped our whole of the undergraduate program. And we want students to take the skill based programs, project based programs, value added courses they can take. And one of the most advantage thing about is that if suppose Sri Venkateshwara College is planning to run a particular course on, say, mobile management or mobile circuitry design or mobile research or maybe 5G, then they can do it of their own in the fourth year. And not only the students from the Venkateshwar College can join, but from other places also people can join. So this is the advantage that we are going to see in this NP 2020. And we have just started, and I'm sure that when our first batch will pass out, it will be a great success in not only electronics but in other fields also. Now coming back to this IEEE. Now what is IEEE and what are its benefits? I would like to share my screen for this. So is my screen visible? Is my screen visible?
Uh,
No.
Ma'am, we cannot see the screen.
Who is there? I think I don't know what is it. Can I just try to open the file? Stop share is also not taking. It is not taking stop share. Don't see anything.
It's not
Yes,
visible, ma'am.
nothing is visible. Even I can't see anything. It has gone to
Screen is
us.
visible.
Huh?
We can see the screen, but it is blank. These slides are not visible.
Should I call
Ma'am, I
someone?
think you have not shared the entire screen.
But it is not even saying that I should stop sharing. It is not doing anything. It has gone to, I think, in some sleep mode. I can't even see my own screen. Just hold on. I did not test it. Nothing is actually happening. It has gone blank.
Yes, ma'am.
It has gone. I mean, nothing is moving.
Yeah, we could just see a message that you have started sharing the screen, but the screen is not yet visible.
मनीषा कहाँ पे हो?
मैम बस मैं नॉन मेंबर से निकल गई हूँ
ओहो,
वो
ठीक है.
स्कॉलरशिप सेल से वो करवाना था नॉन
Okay, I think I should. I don't even can't open my screen also. Hmm. Okay, let me just tell you about IEEE EDS verbally. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible, ma'am.
Okay, so IEEE, as Dr. Raki has said, it is Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. It's one of the largest non-profitable volunteer organization, and it has its headquarters in United States. And IEEE is divided into 10 regions, and in India we come under this region 10, and there are a lot of societies under this. There are a lot of sections. So basically it is for electronics and for computer engineers now, electrical and electronics engineers, and a lot of societies. Electron device society is one of them. There like that there are many more systems. There is control systems, there is computer societies there, MTTS is there, that antenna propagation is there. So a lot of society are there, but one of them, ये कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा, ये some nothing is happening. But anyway, let me just continue. So EDS is one of the one of the societies, and under IEEE. Now, what are the benefits of the IEEE that we can see? Now, you can join IEEE at a very young stage as a student member, and you have to first join IEEE, and then you can take a society membership. So, like for Electron Device Society, the membership is $9, but if you take the
Ma'am, your screen is frozen. I think we have lost connection with ma'am. I think we have lost connection with ma'am. I think we have lost connection with ma'am. We'll move on to the next speaker, Professor Marlene. Welcome to you, ma'am. So I'll briefly introduce Professor Marlene. She is a professor of microelectronics at the University of. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. You are audible.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Professor Marlin is a professor of microelectronics at the University of Sheffield. She is also a distinguished lecturer of the IEEE Electron Devices Society. She received her PhD degree from the University of Cambridge. She became Professor of Electronics and Materials at the Emerging Technologies Research Center, the Montfort University in 2003, and Professor of Microelectronics at the University of Sheffield in 2007. She has been a technical and executive committee member of IEDM during 2012 to 2017 and also IEEE IRPS committee member during the year 2003 to 2013. She has published over 100 journal papers and 150 conference publications. She is currently the vice president of the membership of IEEE Electron Devices Society.
Shall I share my screen now? Is that okay? Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay. Okay, let me just try and reduce this size so I can click on the, this. For some reason, I cannot have access to the button at the bottom.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll have to go one by one, so I'm going to apologize for that. But first of all, thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak at this event. And it's always a pleasure for me to talk to students from India, because you don't need to convince people, the young people, about engineering. They're always so enthusiastic. And you know, in these circumstances, I think all's well with the world and with our future. So I myself come from India. I did my BSc at the University of Mumbai, and then I did my BE at IISc Bangalore before I joined for a PhD at the University of Cambridge. And so I'd like to sort of explain to you a little bit about some of the things that are coming up and why, you know, the IEEE Electron Device Society has been a corner point in many of the things that I have facilitated my ambitions throughout my career. So 2022, this year, marks 75 years since the transistor was invented. And you can see this photograph here of Bardeen, Breton, and Shockley when they did this. And to celebrate this event, there's been a lot of activities around the world, and in particular, Manoj Saxena has arranged very many webinars, educational webinars to celebrate this great occasion. Now, you can imagine what life was like 75 years ago. But today I can say that, the total number of people that own a smart or feature phone in 2020 was 7.5 billion, making over 90% of the world's population. And that's a fantastic thing to celebrate. Now, what was life like before the transistor? And I took this slide from the wireless world. It's available online, and you can read through many of their magazines. And way back in 1917, they're talking about the personal experiences of a wireless operator who was sent by the king to the Faroe Islands, I think, and he was trying to set up this transmitter. And pretty much at that time, following this, wireless came before the computers. And these were called calculators at that time. And you can see the size of them. They were based on valves, what are known as valves. That was before solid state transistors were invented, and we are celebrating 75 years of that occasion. And pretty much since this 1917, I can say that even today, we are still moving into these two main areas, which is communications and computing, which are driving the electronic world today. So why do we need electronics engineers in the future? I mean, we've got quite a lot of technology already available. And for me personally, I'd say that climate change is a global challenge facing humanity today. And that's going to affect everybody on Earth. So one of the biggest issues which has come to the fore this year, for example, is fuel poverty and our reliance on oil. And despite the fact that we need to shift away from coal. And we are also affected by the fact that there is a lot of hunger. There's a change in the way of rainfall patterns. There is water scarcity. So there is more and more need for us to look effectively at resource management. And these two are the main issues that are causing conflicts in various parts of the world and causing mass migration. And so one of the things that I think personally that we can contribute to as electron device engineers is looking at how we can effectively manage these rare, scarce resources by using more efficient semiconductors and by building on top of these semiconductors intelligent systems and smart systems that will control not just our at the laptop level or the mobile phone level, but also control the energy consumption in our homes, in our cities, and try and reduce our dependence on coal and fuel, coal and oil. So my personal journey as an engineer began a long time ago. I became an IEEE member about 23 years ago. And that was because, I began to attend conferences in order to publish or disseminate my work. So the main benefit, of course, of becoming an IEEE member was the journals and conferences that keep me up to date about the latest that is happening anywhere in the world. So that's, I think, the primary goal, of the benefit that you get. Doesn't matter whether you're a student or whether you're working in a company. You really need to be on top of events happening. but it also helped me to meet people and develop a community around me. So as I started going, to the same conferences, I would meet the same folk. And in the beginning, of course, you don't talk to them much. You are a bit new to the scene, but when you start seeing people every time, the same people, you start saying hello, and then they start talking about your work. And these are the people who actually helped to boost my career. They would supply me with samples, they would tell me what was the issues that their companies were facing, and say, okay, and they supported my grant bids by supplying me with samples, letters of support, and so on. And this really is the key thing that really helped launch my career and directed my research towards impactful topics. Because every project that I've worked on throughout my career was industry-led. And it was a practical problem that, but eventually I was able to help to solve it, and that technology went out into society. I think that is a satisfaction that you get from having that benefit of knowing what problems you can tackle. But not only this, if you go through the website, you will see a lot of webinars and distinguished lectures also, which our lecturers give around the world. They really start from simple topics, and then you get to know more and understand the subject much better than what you get when you're reading or learning about it in your class, and then answering an exam. That's kind of like the starting point. But it's only with learning and interacting with other people that you're able to reduce the gap that between understanding a subject superficially and genuinely understanding it at a level that gives you that confidence. But IEEE also does a lot of volunteering around the world. They have projects, humanitarian projects, and women in engineering is another branch, and we encourage more women to join, because I think this is like a wonderful career to have. I would encourage everybody to say that you get good salaries and you get that independence and joy of solving problems and contributing to society. So we also volunteer in schools. We hand out educational kits which can help young children to learn about electronic circuits and simple basic circuits, and enthuse them in the field. So we also IEEE also has career services. So you can benefit from that as well. So I think these are all of the various subcommittees that we have in Electron Device Society. Many of them are traditional, but you can see here that we have added the new and upcoming topics such as quantum information processing or quantum computing here. We've also got neuromorphic computing, because that's related to the next generation of computers. Both of these are related to the next generation of computers, which are going to come following these traditional von Neumann architectures, which are coming towards the limit of their performances. And we also have topics such as bioelectronics or man-machine interfacing, and next generation of RF devices, because as you know, the latest laptops are not just traditional computers. They have got antennas embedded inside them, and they have got also artificial intelligence chips. So they've got chips that work both on traditional CPUs as well as these neural networks. So you can see that there's an increased amount of integration, and we need new engineers to be trained in these fields. So these are the upcoming areas which our society promotes and encourages you to join. There's also a social media kind of a platform from IEEE called Collaborate Track, and under that you can see careers, worldwide jobs that are openings that are available to engineers. And this Collaborate Tech allows you to get in touch with other people worldwide. So, if you have a problem, I know you can post the problem on many, many websites, but also this website is also a place where you can meet, get support for your problems, and people will share with you their knowledge and help you to move forward. So that's one of the things. If you look at our website, you see that we offer awards in a whole range of careers, all the way from the time that you are a young student through to your early careers, PhDs, then master's fellowships. And I would really encourage young people to apply for them. And Susie and myself have been a lot allocated another $50,000 for the next 3 years to promote young people to attend conferences, summer schools, and to encourage early careers. Most recently. So this is going to be launched from next year onwards. So if you become an IEEE member at an undergraduate or master's level in India, you get e-membership, and it's only $14, which isn't much, but you can see all the benefits, and you can start getting in touch with the community and getting that mentorship already from an early age. And if you become an IEEE member, you can then use this code try EDS, and you'll get free EDS membership for a year. And if you are a woman, then you can join the society for just $1. Just use this code. If you join multiple societies, for example, you join EDS and you join, say, the microwave MTT society, then you can get a discount. They have a multiple discount program. EDS is also available on social media, so you can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. And to conclude, I hope you enjoyed this event and learned a little bit more about the EDS. And if you're interested in joining, just use your mobile phone now, and you can scan this code here, and it will take you to the website where, even if you're not a member, you can still scan this code, and you will learn more about the interesting events that are taking place around the world, because we have events which are also available for non-members, and we want to connect to the future generation. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Merlin, for introducing to our young minds the information about IEEE, the reason for joining such professional societies for the future growth. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time, ma'am. I again thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So the next speaker for today, Professor Sushrita Menon. Ma'am has already joined us, and we have kept her waiting for so long. So I apologize to you, ma'am, because we are running behind the schedule. So I'll quickly introduce our next speaker, Dr. P. Sushrita Menon. Dr. Menon completed her bachelor's in engineering with honors degree at National University of Malaysia, which is now called as University Kebangsaan, Malaysia, and her PhD degree with the distinction at Institute of Microengineering and Nanoelectronics at UKM in 2008. Dr. Menon is a senior member of IEEE and is currently the Vice Chair of Region 10 IEEE Electron Devices Society Subcommittee for regions, chapters, and she is also the immediate past IEEE prestigious 2000 award, year award in 2014, for that in 2018. She is also the regional editor of the EDS newsletter for Region 10, that is Southeast Asia. And currently, she is a member of the International Society for Optics and Photonics, that is SPI, Optical Society and a register with the Board of Engineers Malaysia. In 2012, the Excellent Service Award from UKM for her contribution. Dr. Menon is the recipient of the 2015 IEEE Outstanding Volunteer Award conferred by IEEE Malaysia section. She has authored and co-authored 2 book chapters and more than 200 indexed international journals, proceedings, and obtained certification for 4 patents. With these words, now I request Dr. Milford with us. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much to the chairperson. So I'd like to say hello to everyone. Can you hear me? Am I loud and clear?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay. All right, so I will not turn on my video to save the bandwidth. So thank you very much, especially to the Department of Electronics, Sri Venkateswara College, and also to the IEEE EDS Delhi chapter. Thank you to the chairperson for introducing me, for the nice introduction. So my name is P. Sustita Menon, and I'm the chair of Women in EDS, and I'm an associate professor at the National University of Malaysia, or University Kebangsaan Malaysia. So I'll start off with a little background about my university and also my institute. So UKM, the National University of Malaysia, it was established in the year 1970 in Kuala Lumpur, which is the national city of Malaysia, and it's the second oldest university in Malaysia. So our main campus is in Bangi, Bandar Baru Bangi, which is about 45 minutes away from the international airport. We have 13 faculties and also 12 research institutes and several research centers. So the National University of Malaysia, we have produced more than 204,000 undergraduates and postgraduates. And we are one of the 5 Malaysian public or government-funded research universities since 2006, and we achieved autonomous status in 2012. So some of our research areas are as listed. And in terms of world university rankings, we are number 129. So my institute is called the Institute of Microengineering and Nanoelectronics. So it was established in 2002. And we have 6 major themes in the institute, mainly covering MEMS and NEMS, high frequency technology for telecommunication, VLSI system, nanophotonics technology, organic electronics, and also microelectronic packaging. So in terms of academic staff, there are 30 of us, and non-academic staff, there are 20. Postgraduate students, about 100, both local and also international. So IMEN has been identified as the Center of Excellence in Nanotechnology in 2011, and also the Higher Institutions Center of Excellence in 2013 and again in 2018. So we have various research collaborations with many international research institutions, including India as well. And we look forward for more collaborations with other institutes around the world. Okay, so now I'd just like to touch a little bit about my engineering and also STEM journey. So whenever I do a membership drive, I feel that by sharing my own story, I may inspire many of you who are present here today to take up your membership in IEEE and also EDS, so that you know the way that my life journey has been, so that it will motivate you to follow suit perhaps. Okay, so I'm a local student of Malaysia. I did my Bachelor of Engineering in Electronics, my Master's and PhD all in UKM in Malaysia. And after my Bachelor of Engineering, I worked at Intel, which is in Kulim in Malaysia as well, as a product engineer for 4 years. And during my tenure in Intel, I had a stint to work in Intel Oregon, USA for about 6 months. And why I have listed this, so many of us, due to financial issues or due to, circumstances, we may not be able to go out of the country to pursue our studies or our, working needs. But what I'm trying to say is Intel and also IEEE, although I'm a local graduate, Intel and also IEEE provided me the global network that I needed to enhance my experience and also my achievements, right? So you can see here, following my involvement in IEEE, I started as a student volunteer, like what Professor Merlin and also Professor Mridula has shared just now. I started as a local student volunteer in conferences organized by my professors. I joined in, I helped in all the conferences. And then slowly I joined the society as a technical secretariat, and then I became the secretary. And then from then on, I just moved up. So I started at the lowest rank, and but you can see that your career advancement is also in line with your exposure in IEEE and also EDS. So it sort of gives you an opportunity to explore your capabilities and also your interests. So you're not only limited to your current work habits, but you also have an opportunity to serve and also volunteer at an international level. So my early days, so I was born in Perak, in a state in Malaysia, right? And my husband and I both are PhD holders. And these are my teachers, Prof. Shabuddin and also Prof. Burhanuddin. And also I'm a proud mother of 3 children. And I will say my family is my strong pillar support for my career growth right until now. Okay. And so for women out there, right, when I first started my engineering journey, I used to be the only female, not only the only female, the only Indian female in my class, right? And when I was working in USA, so it was really a culture shock, So you're the only female in a group of all men. But that didn't stop me from, pursuing and learning from all these people that I met so that, it can help me in my career growth. And from then on, you can see that IEEE provided me with a lot of volunteering opportunities. I was the student branch chair for Malaysia section, and it gave me the opportunity to meet a lot of new people and get networked, and a lot of opportunities became available, as what Prof. Merlin mentioned just now. So now moving on to my expertise. So my expertise is in optoelectronic devices. So basically, we know that interaction of light with electrons can be used for emission, modulation, transmission, and also detection and sensing of light. So you know that when you have electronics superimposed with optics, so we have a field that we call optoelectronics. And when electrons recombine with holes, photon is formed, and this is the basis. This carrier recombination is the basis for photon emission, which is used in lasers and also LED. And similarly, when photons are used to form electrons and holes, the photons are absorbed to form these carrier electron and hole pairs. It is the basis for the formation of photodiodes, solar cells, and also CMOS image sensors, right? So I work a lot in these optoelectronic devices. And not only in devices, I'm also involved in nanophotonics, which is understanding and engineering light at the nanometer scale. So it normally involves usage of materials at the nanometer scale, particularly quantum dots. And it is also the basis for some of my research work are also shown here in terms of photodiodes. I've worked on indium gallium arsenide, indium phosphide, PIN photodiodes, as well as on silicon germanium and also silicon on insulator quantum dot PIN photodiodes. I've also done some work on optical modulators, right? So these act as filters for optical signals. So this is a kind of a device that we have developed. And also on array waveguide gratings, this is also another kind of a multiplexer and a demultiplexer, which is used for signal, signal division and also combination. My current research work is heavily involved in plasmonics. So basically, plasmonic is the interaction of light with a metal dielectric layer, right? There's a metal dielectric layer. And when the interacting light is in resonance with the surface plasmon polaritons, which exists between the metal dielectric layer, we have what we call a plasmon field appearing at the surface of the dielectric layer. And we can use this surface effect for sensing purposes. So we have used these plasmonic effects in various types of sensors, such as in the determination of urea and also creatinine. And I do not work alone. There are so many collaborators who have assisted me during my research work in plasmonics, right? And these are some of the application of plasmonics, but mainly I'm using it for solar cells and also for cancer therapy as of now. All right, so
Excuse
I'll
me,
move
ma'am.
on. Yes, yes.
Sorry for interrupting, but I'm afraid that we cannot see any of the slides if you're sharing.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Okay, I'm so sorry
Am I
about that.
audible?
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, now it is visible, ma'am.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So okay, so I'll come into the most important part, which is the women in electron devices. All right. Okay. So as Prof. Merlin mentioned just now, so 2022 is actually a year of anniversaries. So not only are we celebrating the 75th anniversary of the transistor, we are also celebrating the Women in Engineering 25th anniversary. So this Women in EDS, Women in Electron Devices Society, this was first started in 2020, and it was formally launched in 2021, 2022, right? So this is the vision and the mission. So we want to facilitate the recruitment and retention of women members in EDS, also to mentor, encourage, and acknowledge women's achievements. So that doesn't mean we are leaving the men behind. It's actually a joint effort, right? It's both men and also women. Also to promote collaboration and technical exchange with female members in EDS and also other technical societies. So our committee, basically we have from various regions of IEEE. And for India, we have Ms. Pragya Kushwaha. She's from ISRO, India. And we hope there will be many other young professionals, young student members, and also many other members who can join us in this committee to assist us in promotion of women in electron devices. So these are some statistics. As you know, we are in region 10, and basically in IEEE, the overall, the number of female members is about 15% as of December 2021. And for IEEE EDS is at 11.6%, right? So we are trying to, Merlin, with the help of Merlin and her committee, we are trying to increase the number of women in electron devices with various activities as what Merlin and Prof. Meridula, you know, whatever they've mentioned just now, we are doing a lot of activities for student members, for members, in order to increase the number of women and also male in EDS. So some of our events so far, we have done this LEDAC conference on the 14th of July. This was in Mexico. And we had our local virtual conference in Malaysia. This was in August. And then we also had a session in China. This was also in August. And the next one is in Italy in September 2022. So our future events, we are having a Women in EDS event in San Francisco, IEDM 2022. And both Merlin and myself will be in Bangalore, India on the 12th of December. So Merlin is a speaker in this Women in Semiconductor. This is going to be held in Bangalore. So you can see Merlin will be a speaker over there to motivate all the attendees, you know, to get themselves involved in IEEE and also EDS. So some pictures from our events, right? So this was in China and this was in Italy, Milan, Italy. And we also have these Women in EDS in conjunction with the 25th anniversary of Women in Engineering. So we have Professor Sujay King Liu. She'll be presenting on the 2nd of December. This is the US time, Eastern time. So our time will be, tonight at 10 p.m. Malaysia time. So for you guys will be about 7:30, if I'm not mistaken, 7:30 tonight, right? And she will be presenting about the sustaining the semiconductor revolution, transistor scaling and beyond. So I urge all of you, if you have the time to join this talk by Professor Sujay King. And else than that, all our events are featured in the EDS newsletter, right? And we have many involvement of the young professionals and also the women in EDS in our newsletter. So this newsletter is released every quarterly, and whatever event, including today's membership drive, I think it will be included in the newsletter, right? So with the leadership of Professor Merlin, she has started this project where few women were selected to produce videos about our career journey, about our research area and so forth. So one such video has already been released by Louisa, and you can watch it in FB, and there will be many, many more videos coming out from the Women in EDS team. Okay. And for those of you who are interested in STEM for schools, we have this EDS ETC program, Engineers Demonstrating Science and Engineer Teacher Connection. So in order to join this event, you can request for kits to be sent to your chapter or to your student branch. And using those kits, you can approach schools and encourage more students to take up STEM as a career and eventually electrical engineering. So if you scan this QR code, this is an online circuit simulator provided by Fernando. He's our past president. So if you scan this, it will bring you to a web page and you can register to receive this online circuit simulator, which you can use, for your students or for your members during your membership drive, right? And last year, I was provided with some funds for this STEM program, Electronics in Coding and Robotics. And a few types of kits were deployed in Malaysia. And we used these kits to go to schools, and more than 500 students were benefited from these STEM events, right? And I'd like to encourage all of you to look at this Try Engineering website. There are many, all this is free, whether you're an IEEE member or you're not an IEEE member, you can go in and look at many different STEM programs that you can use to go back to your school, your primary school or your secondary school, and encourage students to take up electrical engineering as their preferred career path. We also have women in EDS IEEE fellows listed in our website. And these are some of the upcoming projects that we are working on. So, so there's a lot of things going on. So if you're interested to be an IEEE and also EDS member, let Merlin and myself know, and we can get you involved in all these projects, right? So the next few slides have already been presented by Merlin on the student membership offers for 2023. Right, so you can save up to 50% for your IEEE student membership. And using this promotion code, you can get a free EDS membership for a year, provided that you are a new member, right? And if you are a Women in Engineering member, you can join Electron Devices for only $1, right? So using this promotion code. And also, as Merlin mentioned, there's a multiple society discount program. And if you like to follow us on social media, we are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, Twitter, and also Instagram. So if you are not a member, you can follow us and see what are the programs which are being done. And if they are of your interest, and maybe that will make you become a member of IEEE and also EDS. So join EDS. And my lessons in life and career. So always challenge yourself, take risk, and learn new things, right? And in my opinion, family is always first. They are your lifelong supporters. And I always believe in being good, doing good, and be happy always, whatever happens. So by being a member of IEEE and EDS, the benefits are actually numerous for networking and also for your career upliftment. So thank you very much for listening to me. That's all from me.
Thank you, Dr. Menon. Thanks a lot. Thanks for sparing your valuable time and joining us today. With your due permission, ma'am, I would also like to emphasize on the use of these ETC, use of these kits, the SNAP circuit kits, because we at our chapter also have procured these kits, and we are in a process to basically conduct few outreach programs with the higher secondary school students in the coming few months. So for the benefit of the students, I would like to play this video where they can get to know more about this EDS ETC program. Anyway, I think there is again a technical issue. So I would like to now conclude with the vote of thanks session. Before that, I would just like to apprise the members today, the non-IEEE members today, a little bit about the EDS Delhi chapter. So we have around 177 members at EDS Delhi chapter, in which we have around 54 graduate student members and 39 student members. And this is the executive committee for the year 22-23. I being the treasurer, and we have the execom members, and these are few glimpses of the activities that we have conducted in the year 2022. And these are some of the pictures of the activities. So I would like to propose vote of thanks. So it's my absolute privilege to propose vote of thanks on behalf of EDS Delhi chapter as well as the Venkateswara College. First and foremost, I would like to thank our principal, Professor C. Sheila Reddy ma'am, for her constant support and motivation in all our endeavors. Thanks are due to our eminent and distinguished speakers who have been kind enough to accept our invitation and be a part of this membership drive and inspire and motivate our young minds and professional members to be a part of this global technical community. Big thanks to the teacher in charge, Dr. Nutan Joshi ma'am, and all faculty members of Department of Electronics for always being supportive. I would also like to thank the chairperson of EDS Delhi chapter, Professor Manoj Saxena, and all the executive committee members for technically sponsoring this event and their help and support throughout. Thanks are due to ICT staff for necessary logistic arrangements. And last but not least, all the volunteers and the delegates for spending their valuable time to attend this event. I would request all the delegates to please fill in the feedback form which has been shared in the chat section already, because that will help us in knowing if you are really keen and interested in joining this community. And if you wish to join the community or get updates about the events which are lined up in the coming few months, and how can you be a part of that community as a volunteer, as a student member, you can definitely get in touch with me. And once again, I would like to thank all our speakers, Professor Menon, Professor Merlin, and Professor Mridula Gupta, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am,
Thank
and
you.
have a good day.
Yeah,
So,
thank you very much, Rakhi.
any closing remarks from your side, ma'am? Dr. Professor Menon and Professor Merlin?
Sorry. Sorry, I missed that. Okay, thank
Professor
you.
Merlin, you are not audible to us.
I just said thank you. There's not a lot. I just said thank you. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
Professor
right,
Menon,
thank you very much.
remarks
Yeah,
from
thank you
your
very
side.
much. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much to the organizer. I think it's a wonderful session. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you to you too, Susie. What a lovely talk you gave, and well done. Well done, you. Thank you.
Thanks, Marlene. Thank you.
Thank you for your support. Yes.
Once again.
Thank you,
And have a
everyone.
good day.
Thank you to the
Okay,
students.
bye-bye.
Session
Thank you.
now.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you for
Bye.
joining us.
Bye.
Bye.